There we go. Well, thanks for tuning in and joining us for this Mountain Fertility Festival 2020 in very interesting circumstances. We at the Prairie Home are going to be, for at least the rest of this month, having no contact services. We've been in touch with Governor Polis. We've been on regular calls with him and other faith leaders regarding how we're going to open back up, a good speed in which to do that, as well as some of the guidelines and whatnot. So stay tuned to our Facebook page. We will have data and updates coming out as soon as we get them. So let's see. Anything else? Everyone has their beverage with which to have a blessing. That's fantastic. If you have fire handy, wonderful. If there's anything else that you need to be comfortable, we're going to be starting our grounding and centering practice really soon. It's going to be a little different from the two powers, but we are going to be focusing on two powers, and the powers that we're going to be focusing on this time are the powers of peace and the power of love. This is a time in our world where there is not a tremendous amount of peace and there's not a tremendous amount of love being shared around. And we're hoping that through this breathing in and breathing out practice, that we can breathe in peace and breathe out love. Some of you have been here and heard this song before. Some of you who are familiar with the Phoenix Choir in Colorado, you definitely heard this tune before. Do you know who wrote this song?
I think it was the previous guitar player.
Okay.
Angie wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they wrote it.
Awesome. Outstanding. So let's find a nice quiet spot in our minds, find a nice comfortable place in your bodies, and get ready to breathe in and breathe out. And we'll get started.
I'll breathe in, breathe out. I'll breathe out, breathe in. I'll breathe in, breathe out. I'll breathe out. When I breathe in, I will breathe in. When I breathe out, I will breathe out. When I breathe in, I will breathe in. When I breathe out, I will breathe out. I'll breathe in. I'll breathe out. I'll breathe in. Breathe out. I'll breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
Take a moment, children of Earth, to arrive in this space, joining us for our rites of our Mountain Fertility Festival, or whatever festive, bright, verdant, fertile time it is by you. We're celebrating in that today. Our first offering goes to recognize the the peoples of the land that we're standing on here in particular, the Utes, the Apaches, the Arapaho, the Cheyennes, want to make this offering of organic tobacco to the first peoples of this place, recognizing their part in its history, recognizing our part in its history, and on our part, committing to do better in the future. So say we all.
So say we all.
Next, we call to the spirits of inspiration, that our minds be enlivened and our tongues quickened and ready for this work.
We call out now to the spirits of inspiration, to those beings who light the fire in our head and in our hearts, who give us the words to speak poetically about the beautiful pictures that we see in our mind's eye. Be with us and turn our words into gifts that those who hear them will receive them with the love and respect that we give. Spirits of inspiration, accept our offering.
Spirits of inspiration, accept our offering.
Now we call to the EarthMother.
Sacred EarthMother, you who has provided for us and our families for generations, and likely, God's be good, generations to come, we ask that you accept this offering of grain freely given. Continue to bless us, your children, in our lives and in the work that we do. EarthMother, accept our offering.
EarthMother, accept our offerings.
With the firmament of the earth blessed beneath us and our minds and tongues quickened with inspiration, we now prepare to make our rites for the Mountain Fertility Festival, or whatever fertile time it is by you, even if you don't have mountains. May the land not rise against us. May the seas not rise and drown us. May the air remain pure and clean all around us. And may we, at this time and all time, may we pray with a good fire.
May we pray with a good food.
Now, children of earth, we recreate our cosmos. Where would you like to begin?
We offer silver, the water in this vessel, swirling in chaotic whirls around the pool. That will open as a mouth to the underworld, allow us to commune with our ancestors. Sacred waters flow within us.
Sacred waters flow within us. Like fire from the heavens, the sun itself, we call down fire to be at our sacred center, to guide us and warm us, showing us the way, showing us what is hidden in darkness, and allowing us to cleanse that which needs to be cleansed. Sacred fire, burn within us.
Sacred fire, burn within us. We bless now this pillar. Water and smoke, that it be made pure, prepared to grow up into the sky, to stretch deep down into the earth, to hold us firmly in this space, in the center of the cosmos. Sacred tree, grow within us.
Sacred tree, grow within us. The waters support and surround us, the land extends about us, the sky stretches out above us, at the center burns a living flame. May all the kindreds bless us, may our worship be true, may our actions be just, may our love be pure. Blessings and honor and worship to the holy ones. With our sacred cosmos rebuilt, We now prepare to open the gates.
Drawn by the light of our fire, we call now to the magpie, lover of shiny things, being of curiosity, of freedom and flight, you who carries gifts that you find in interesting places, to other places less interesting, moving freely where you will. Gates open, gates closed, doesn't matter. For yours is a power to move freely between the realms. And because of the relationship that we have built with you, you carry our gifts to the other realms and bring back those blessings that our kindreds have for us. Our relationship with you is sacred, for it takes us outside of ourselves and outside of our normal mundane time and space and connects us to the greater world. Magpie, accept these offerings.
MAGpies, accept these offerings.
Magpie, join your magic with ours. May the well sink deep and open as a gate to the underrealm. May the fire rise on high and open as a gate to the upper world. May the tree hold fast the ways between and open as a gate in the middle realm. By our will and by our words, let the gates be opened.
Let the gates be opened.
Feel now within yourself those barriers and walls that you hold between you and the world around you. In this safe and protected space, let down your walls, throw open the gates within you, and prepare to make true connection from wherever you are. Will you call to the ancestors?
I will. The first among the kindreds three, our sacred ancestors, those of blood and bone, those of heart and skill, who are part of our story, who have taught us, who have guided us, who have shown us the way. Sacred ancestors, we ask that you accept these offerings of silver freely given and cast your blessings unto us on this celebration day. Ancestors, accept our offering.
Ancestors, accept our offering. And children of earth, in your mind's eye, feel now your ancestors as they join you. Feel them rise up from the underground. Feel them join you to sit beside you. Bring with them the blessings from the underworld, from the chaos of potential and all that may be. Filled with the power of memory of what was, to help us build an even stronger foundation for the future. So say we all.
So say we all. Will you call to the nature king?
In the middle of spring, the spirits of nature are awake once more. Hopping, jumping, running, flying, slithering, climbing, building spider webs in my kitchen. But life is all around us. At Samhain, the veil is the thinnest, and it allows our ancestors, those who pass by, to speak with us. And similarly in this time, with that veil very thin, those noble spirits and new life may come through towards us. The veil is a doorway, not a one-way ticket. And I recognize at this time all those beings seen and unseen, known and unknown, named and unnamed, who share this middle realm with us. Good neighbors and friends, kin, guardians, and allies, who make you these offerings, the beginning of the height of your springtime season. May fertility be with you. May you find all that you need to prepare for the warm season to come. NatureKin, accept our offerings.
NatureKin, accept our offerings.
Feel now your allies in the animal realm. Those beings who accompany you as you walk outside, as you go on spirit journeys. Those beings who may live in your home with you. Those beings who share your office. Your good neighbors and your friends who eat at your table and drink of your wine. Feel them as they join you in this space. So say we all.
So say we all.
You call to the shining ones.
I will. Shining deities, one and all, of all the folk who have gathered to watch us this day, those of us in this house, we ask that you join us here at our sacred fire. We ask that you accept these offerings, be you of beings in different realms or constructs of the mind. However you come to us with blessing, wisdom, and knowledge. Shining ones, accept this offering.
Shining ones, accept this offering. And feel now your allies among the deities as they join you. The earth rise up to meet you as a goddess. Those beings to whom you call around your fire as they join you in this space. Patrons, matrons, deities to whom we have dedicated our lives and our time and many, many offerings. Feel them in this space, drawn by our fire and our kind words. Feel them as they are ready to accept these offerings, freely given from our hearts and hands. So say we all.
So say we all. Well, we're at the point of our rite where we call to the being of the occasion, but in such a complex time, I don't think there's just one. Spring is a complex time. There's so much going on. We could make offerings specifically to our local EarthMother or a larger consciousness EarthMother. We could make specific offerings to the spirits of seedlings. There's so many things that are happening during spring that make it important. Reverend Missy this morning, while we're having coffee, noted very interestingly that spring is messy. I'd like her to say a few words about messy spring.
So I'm from a place that is wet compared to Colorado, and we affectionately refer to this time of year as mud season, because all the snow and the ice that's been hanging out has all started to melt, and then it rains for like a whole month and you don't see the sun at all. And there's just mud and muck everywhere, and sometimes it smells because it hasn't gone anywhere but sat in its own pool for a while, and it's dirty and it's smelly, and out of that comes the most miraculous things. I mean, in the fields where they're getting ready to plant the crops, they throw down food. Like, it's a messy, dirty time. And one of the things that you told me when I moved here is that the difference between those places that are readily fertile and Colorado is that here we have to make that soil, which means we have to get dirty. We have to put our hands into the earth. We have to make sure that there's enough water in the places that are too dry to bring forth any seeds. We have to make sure the seeds end up in the soil that is ready for them. As it's raining outside today, it feels much like the earth is preparing herself to be that vessel that is prepared so that those seeds can break apart into a million pieces and then turn into all of those wonderful plants and living things that we need so that we can have a harvest later. And I think for me, that's been very helpful imagery right now. You know, I feel a lot more Samhain than I do Beltaine. Spending so much time like isolated and internal and focusing on, you know, what's immediately around me and doing what's in front of me, and rather disconnected. And it's not usually that what we're doing right now. Like right now is usually a time when we are seeking one another out and we're spending more and more time together because we've been isolated by the snow and the ice and the cold weather. And now we're isolated by something different. And I think one of the things that we're isolated by right now is love, because we know that if you're an asymptomatic person, you could pass this on to other people and they could be harmed by it. You know, so I'm sitting with all of that, and it's messy, and that actually feels appropriate for this time of year because it's a messy time. But at the end of this, that mess turns into beautiful soil, and from that blossoms amazing things. And that is what my hope is for all of us as we're breathing in peace and trying to find that center within us that keeps us grounded and prepared for what comes next. And we're breathing out love and reminding those around us that even if we're looking at a camera and not at all the beautiful people who are usually in the living room, that love is still there, and it will help to keep this soil fertile so that when we're together again, we can plant all of our seeds together and have a beautiful harvest.
Well, we were singing this morning, breathing in peace and breathing out love, a teaching from a now deceased teacher of mine, of blessed memory, Rabbi Zalman Schachter Shalomi from Naropa. Someone once asked him, why do Jewish people always pray out loud? There's not a lot of quiet prayers. Even when they're being quiet, Jewish people mumble their prayers. There's always some sort of vocalized sound on their breath. And Reb Zalman said that God, as it were, in this particular case, breathes life into us. And it's considered a gift to fill that out-breath that naturally happens with prayer or song or beautiful things. And it's in the spirit of that breathing out love. Breathe in peace, because that's what we need inside of ourselves to be peaceful individuals. But when we breathe out, that's our action, that's our doing. And in our breathing out love, hopefully we are doing love as well in our breath. When there are thousands of people kept in non-ideal conditions at our borders, this is not the out-breath of love. This is the out-breath of selfishness and fear. This is not the breathing in of peace. It's the breathing in of trepidation and uncertainty. And it's hard to take a breath in peace and to breathe out love, especially now when so many others around us are not doing that. But ultimately, it doesn't matter what others are doing. We work with what we have. And in this time, even though we don't have much, we as individuals still have the ability to breathe in peace and to breathe out love and to affect growing, fertile change all around us. Even if the distance that we can affect is our fingertips, then that's at least 5 to 6 foot circle around us that is a place of peace and love. May we move as seeds of peace and love this season and fertily affect anything that we come into contact with so that they too may know peace and love this season. Deities and beings of this time, of this season, we ask that you join us in your complexity and myriad beauty, casting your blessings onto us and guiding us for the next 6 weeks. Beings of springtime, accept our offering.
Beings of springtime, accept our offering. And in your mind's eye, see those beings who bring you peace. See those beings who bring you healing. Those beings to whom you call when you're feeling trepidation or anxiety, when you're feeling fear.
When you're feeling empty.
Feel them and send them your love in thanks and gratitude for the relationship that you have built with them.
Before we get to our final offering, for those at home who are quote unquote playing along at home, for those that don't have any brains or resources like the stuff that we have at home, we would like to make these offerings on your behalf to your nature kin and middle realm allies. We make this pour on your behalf to your gods and shining beings who guide and inspire you. We make these offerings on your behalf to your ancestors, that they continue to bless you and inform you as you move through life. With that said, we prepare to make our final offering in song.
We praise you in song, sing praise to the shining ones, to the noble ones, to our mighty dead, and to all our faithfuls.
Kindreds all, shining gods, ancestors below, nature kin all around us. We ask that you accept all offerings freely given this day to you and bless us with inspiration and guidance. If anything was left out of place, we ask that you accept this final offering, sharing your blessings with us, your human siblings. Sing praise to the shining ones, to the noble ones, to our mighty dead, and to all our faithfuls.
Kindreds all, accept our offerings.
Kindreds all, accept our offerings. Children of Earth, with all offerings made, we now call for an omen. In our practice, reciprocity is very sacred. A balance, a gift calling for a gift. With these gifts of offering and prayer freely given, we ask that the Kindreds three bless us with gifts in return, gifts of guidance and wisdom for the next 6 weeks. May the true sight be upon me and the true words be mine. May I be blessed with wit, speech, and understanding, that I may know, see, and share the guidance of the kindreds. Right now, things are stuck, as if frozen in ice. However, the seasons turn. The sun comes to melt the ice, just as it's doing now in the mountains. All the snowpack, all the frozen bits, all the snow, all of that's melting. The waters are freeing. And at the end, once the ice melts, once that stillness and stuckness goes away, as is the natural order of things, a new day will come. Shining new beginnings are around the corner. This I have seen. Normally we ask y'all if you accept the omen, but
On your behalf, I say aye.
right. This is actually a pretty accurate omen. Ice, the turning year, and a new dawn. That's pretty accurate where we are, what we need, and what we'd like to have happen at the end of things. Again, this is a 6-week omen. It does have an expiration date. So over the next 6 weeks, look where things are stuck. Look where those things are stuck. Look where we can bring that warming quality of the season as the seasons turn, of spring, of that peace and love. See how we can bring those things so that we can get to that new day, that new beginning. And with that, we will now impart this blessing into the waters of life.
I will stall for a moment in case anyone needs to go and get your own cup so that we can bless them together. This is me. I'm stalling.
Good stall.
I am really good at stalling. I can talk for long periods of time without actually saying anything. Do it all the time.
We have great models of that quality in our government right now. So take that. Okay.
Pick up your vessel in your hands. And to know that all waters are, by their very nature, sacred. Filled with the memory of all that was. Ready to hold all that will be. Bringing about the muddy season so that we can have that messy muck that brings us new beginnings. As the ice melts now, as is the way of things, may the blessings of new beginnings, of illumination, where we see the things that were stuck and how we can move them. And all of those things come to us as the kindreds have offered. Ancestors, we call to you now and ask that you fill this vessel from the well of memory. Ancestors, please give us the waters.
Ancestors, please give us the waters.
We call now to the noble spirits. Fill this vessel from the spring of renewal. Noble kin, please give us the waters.
Noble kin, please give us the waters.
Shining gods, goddesses, and deities, we call you now to fill this vessel from the cup of inspiration. Shining ones, please give us the waters.
Shining ones, please give us the waters.
Raise your cup with me. Blessings flow through us, sustain us, renew us. Behold the waters of life. Behold the waters of life.
The waters of life.
We share our blessings with our ancestors, with those who could not be here, and with those who would not be here. May they know peace and love and the blessings that we share.
May it be so.
May it be so.
Ooh, business over the horn. Do we have any horn business today? We do have some horn business. We actually have some pretty great news. Normally when people are all here, this is times when people raise a glass to talk about their accomplishments and things that they've done or other great things. We've had some great things happen with our little church here in Colorado and beyond, as it were. We got our goal. What you can't see is on the other side of the room, our pile of new video equipment that we're going to be doing an unboxing video for. Yeah, Reverend Badger does an unboxing video. Get ready for that. Keep in tune with our YouTube channel. Also, if you can get people to sign up for that YouTube channel. We can't do YouTube Live, here you go, until we get 1,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel. So if you can get a couple of friends, some neighbors, get some enemies who might need a good message in their life, anybody who might want to tune in to our YouTube channel, please, all of the things that we've done on Facebook in the past, the 12 nights, all of that stuff's getting put up on our YouTube channel. So tune in, Mountain Ancestors, just YouTube/Mountain Ancestors should be pretty easy to find. What else? What else? We had tons of good stuff that's happened recently. Help me out here.
I've been doing different stuff. I'm still working. I work in healthcare, and it has been an interesting time. We've experienced a lot of loss, and I'm sure that some of you have as well. I lost one of my favorite coworkers last week. He was just a good man, and I will thoroughly miss him. Loss is hard at any time. He didn't die from COVID. He died because he had other things. But no one got to see him before he went because we didn't want to risk bringing him anything because we didn't know we were gonna lose him that fast. But he died at home, and he wasn't alone, which is what he always wanted. He went peacefully in his sleep, and I am very grateful that he had such a peaceful passing with a dignity and in the manner of his choosing. Hail to Stuart Hoffer.
To Stuart Hoffer. May he be welcomed in the halls of his ancestors. We make one final pour for all those who are out there fighting the coronavirus on the behalf of humanity, all the healthcare professionals, all the spirit professionals who are helping, the chaplains in hospitals who are doing amazing things. Everyone and anyone who is doing their part. If you're putting a mask on, thank you. Someone who is immunocompromised directly thanks you so much. If you haven't seen the analogy of the peeing on one another and why we wear a mask, find one, send it to everyone you know. It might be a little crass, but I think it might drive the point home in the environment in which we live in today.
And when you watch it, I want you to know that William told that analogy to his nanny Gail. That is all.
Yes. If you knew Gail, you wouldn't expect me to say words like that to Gail at all. We make this last pour to empty our cup for all those who have had to cross over without their families there in loneliness, being scared, not knowing what to do, being very confused, and suddenly waking up on the other side of things. We make this pour to them, that they find peace, and that they know that here and on the other side, they are loved. So say we all.
So say we all.
Children of Earth with offerings made, we are now going to say thank you to the beings of the occasion who have joined us here, to our ancestors and all the other good beings that have come, and wrap this up for the day. So, oh, it's me. Beings of the season, be you spirits of earth, be you spirits of water, be you spirits of land, all you good spirits who mark this time for us. For all your aid in our lives, we offer our full honor and thanks. Spirits of the season, we thank you.
Spirits of the season, we thank you. Shining gods, goddesses, and deities, noble kin, and ancestors who've gone before us. For all your aid, we offer you our full honor and thanks. Kindreds all, we thank you.
Kindreds all, we thank you. Sacred Magpie, our wee little clever mascot, for joining your magic with ours and minding the gates and the prayers and offerings of our folk. And for all your aid in our lives, our full honor and thanks. Magpie, we thank you.
Magpie, we thank you.
For one last time, we ask that you at home, and that you, darling wife, join our magics together Let the fire once again be flame. Let the well once again be water. Let all be as it was before these rites, save for the blessings that we have created here and shared amongst ourselves and with the world. Children of Earth, we say as a folk, let the gates be closed.
Let the gates be closed. Feel now within yourselves your shields and wards returning, placing you in their warm, safe, protected cocoon, but not closing you off from the world, that you may continue to breathe in peace and breathe out love to all those around you.
Sacred Earth Mother, for always providing for us, giving us a firm place to stand, we offer you our full honor and thanks. Earth Mother, we thank you.
Earth Mother, we thank you. Spirits of inspiration, for honeying our words and silvering our tongues, you have our full honor and thanks. Spirits of inspiration, we thank you.
Spirits of inspiration, we thank you. With that, children of Earth, at least I hope you're tuning in to this from Earth somewhere. If not, children of Marplex or some other planets that I might not know the name of, thank you for tuning in and joining us for our Mountain Fertility Rites. May the next 6 weeks be incredibly fertile for you in any way that you interact and understand fertility to be. Fertility of mind, body, spirit, all of it. May you be blessed for these next 6 weeks and the next 6 weeks after that to come. We have a closing song? We do not have a closing song. In that case, I'm going to duck out and stop the recording. Thank you all so much. We're going to keep the channel open for a couple of minutes if anyone has any special offerings that you'd like us to make. I don't want necessarily to put that on public record. Keep space for some of those more private things. So thank you all again for joining us. Tune in next week. We're going to be around for our full moon, our flower moon, on the 7th. Thank you. Check our calendar. I think on the 9th, if I'm not mistaken, we have a class about modern mythology and Star Wars. This was not my idea, I promise you. Not even a seed of idea came from me. That's going to be taught by our own Axel Yantaska. They have been studying for probably the last 6 weeks, more maybe than they should have. Their head is full with Star Wars, was the quote.
What's wrong with that?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, nothing. So, in any case, thank you all so much for being a part of this, for supporting our work. Oh, that was one last thing. One last thing. We have a Patreon page up now. If you haven't seen our Patreon page, links can be found on our Facebook site. We're going to have some links to all these new things on our webpage as well. So, lots of opportunities to connect, to offer support, to tune in to however you need to with whatever it is that we're offering to you. So again, children of Earth, thank you so much. I'm going to dip out and stop the recording and turn the audio back on.
Can you turn the camera around so we can see people?
Yes.